His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happen in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
Why will George Weah?
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Commonwealth Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, particularly dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you Weah vex that you will struck the whack and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberia National Police commenced the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure This is how we are always being molded. That's how God has already molded we are and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to pride in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president. They have manipulated the law. They have manipulated security. The president has interfered with investigations of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. We know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency.
I'm not guilty. But you have to follow the reading of the indictment. If you notice, two things I will point out to you. The first is the indictment is more about the 17 riot and communications therein. Very little about the fire. The indictment mentions nothing that any of the lawmakers did except by generalization. But the most interesting thing about the indictment, it has a letter from Kivi Bar to Honorable Dixie Sibo purporting to admit. I said this before, I will say it to you again all the time. It's common sense. That's what we use in the law. How many of you these days can write a letter and a text message, you understand? No, that means that the prosecution don't have any case because there's no case to make. This is all politics and it will unravel as quickly as they put it together. Evidence, the only verdict is a not guilty verdict.
Of course I'm not guilty. Which I know with my conscience and spirit that I'm not guilty.
Were you not involved in any conversation as read in the indictment?
Nothing. You listen to it. The repeated things you listen to it. The lawyers will handle that. I wish I were a lawyer to plead for myself.
How will you describe this whole situation from the time you were taken to the Monrovia Central Precinct to now? How will you describe it?
Well, I think that's total nonsense, but the law will prevail. For me, I'm a man of faith and from a Christian background. I know with myself that they didn't do nothing. I was never around. And as I said, I don't want to keep picking bearing before you.
It's an old Sapwaka. It's an old, frail, and weak, unpatriotic, questionable citizen of the Republic of Liberia. Do you argue that? He's 23 years older than George Weah. No argument. He is too old to be a modern day president. He has collapsed several times, meaning he is frail and he is weak. No argument. He is unpatriotic because, one, he lied to us. Two, all the jobs he held, he did nothing. And the 43 years he served in government was marked by massive fraud, waste, and abuse. And most importantly, rampant corruption. As far as the citizenship is concerned, it is in question.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Assad is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
For keeping watch over us throughout the night of last night, and he has brought us into this day. We are grateful. We are thankful. His name will always be exalted because he is good. He is faithful. He is the great God. He is the God who, in the fullness of his time, lead people to confessing. The God who, in his fullness, the fullness of his time, exposes people, evil from the past, in the present. That's who he is. We thank him for being so faithful. I can see why he said, never avenge, but leave it, it hurt, it pains. In the fullness of time, you will have joy. It is that God that we serve. We are grateful. What a God he is. Thank all of you for coming on. I appreciate you. We are inspired by your presence. We've got a couple of things to talk about. You people are so good. Let me greet and welcome my dear sister, Sunday Way, Orita Sunday Way Choir. Thank you so much for everything. You're good. You're just so great. Thank you so much. Thanks for the pieces of advice too and the compliments. Susan Soiree, good to see you on. Welcome from Canada, Ontario. Yes. Willem K. Sumawolo, thank you so much for coming on, my dear. Hope that you are doing good there in New York, Staten Island, USA. It is the community of the dogs, eh? That's good. Good to hear that. Jack Foley Tombikai, Broville Bible College, Boima Gwenen, Jamaica Road. Jamaica Road. All right. Yes. Peter One Day, Crown Hill Community, Emmanuel Bro, USA, Yassa Sharif, USA, you're on. Good. Samuel Colley, James Doka, Broville. Silva Washington, Broville. Emmanuel Gowell, Fishtown Community, Japan Freeway, Jones Webo, Jacobtown Community Rehab, Jean McBorough, Jonion Tapa, Grangita County, Joy Blitz, Japan, Jakarta City, ACN Menza, Grand Kidman County, Buaka Zodua, Mecklin Street, Waterside, Fatu Sherry, Kakata, Magibi County, Masare, Abdullah Jijawai Community, Paris, Slobart, New York, New Jersey, USA, Royal Always VAD, D3, Ibrahim Addison, Morovia, Stanley Boso, Congress City, Francis Ferguson, River G County, Ibrahim Addison, Benson W. Victor, Broad Street, Herenti 2, Caldwell, 5th Kelvin Bappin, Minba United, Rolling Down, Grand Bassa County, Malu Fofana, 20th Street, Sinker, Moses Swap, Painesville City, Red Light, Bappin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Darlington, CP, New Jersey, Vinicius Bar, Junior District 16, Harris City, Caldwell, New Georgia, Jeremiah Labla, FDA Community, Rising Sun TV, Dallas, Texas, Mantoni and Son, FDA Junction, Jackson C. Pony, Iron Factory, Mema Block 13 Intellectual Center, Gabriel Lawson, the same Iron Factory, Broad Street, your business center, Usman Saul, Gale Street Business Center, Joan Momolu, the same Gale Street, Patricia Zia, your office, Orita Jackley, yes, Emmanuel, good, that's what, Effie. Okay, Ibrahim Kumam, Baka Giome. Yes, good to have all of you on. The chairman himself is on. The chairman, Roma Rico, or Kenneball chairman, Block 13 Intellectual Center is on. The melting pot chairman, the chairman that cuts across all race, creed, color, all political affiliation, the one and only chairman. Let's get started. Thank you all for coming on. Comfort Nimlem, Israel told you this morning to come for your money. You said last week you called on Israel's show and said that your sister from Sino County has a serious problem. She is going under operation and she is to pay 100 or 200, but you people needed upfront 150 United States dollars. That's what you said. And God touched someone had contributed $50. Israel told you this morning on his show to come and to see me to receive your money. We've been waiting since this morning. You have not come yet. I'm here up to the evening hours. If you can make it today, then you can come tomorrow. But come and pick up your $50. Just a reminder. Israel told you this morning to come and pick up your money. Comfort Nimlin. You said that your sister had come from Sino County. Your sister is undergoing or is scheduled to undergo operation, and you need between 150 to 200 United States dollars to do the operation. Somebody contributed 50 United States dollars. So you want to come and pick up the money for your sister that can help. Please, I'm here up to the close of the show at 5:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7. Beyond that, if you can make it, then we'll do it tomorrow if God permits. That's it. Comfort Nimnan. Let's go out of Liberia briefly. Today we've got just, something very significant. A major Interpol operation in West Africa has resulted in 62 arrests and the seizure of weapons, explosives, drugs, counterfeit medicines, and 163 stolen vehicles. Operation Square in West Africa 2025 brought together law enforcement from 12 countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, the Gambia, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. Was carried out from July to October with 1.7 million real-time border checks. Among those arrested were 9 terrorism suspects, most linked to Al-Qaeda affiliates. The operation also rescued 21 victims of human trafficking in Ghana and uncovered additional illegal activities, including maritime fraud. The initiative was funded by Germany, Denmark, and the United States. Lecturers at Nigeria's public universities say they will shut down all institutions indefinitely starting Friday. In a statement posted on X, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, which represents lecturers and academic staff in public universities, said the closure will go ahead if the government fails to meet its key demands. Those include fair remuneration and improved working conditions to stem the ongoing exodus of academic talent. The union recently rejected the government's proposed 35% salary increase. The union had earlier suspended a warning strike in October and gave the government a 1-month ultimatum to address concerns about staff welfare and the declining teaching and learning environment. Still in Nigeria, 44 lawmakers have written to President Bola Tinubu, urging him to order the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the banned separatist group Indigenous People of Biafra. The legislators, calling themselves the concerned federal lawmakers, asked Tinubu to use his constitutional powers to free Kanu and launch an inclusive political dialogue to address the tensions in the country. They also appealed to the president to direct the Attorney General to end Kanu's prosecution. Their call adds to growing pressure for a negotiated resolution to Kanu's prolonged detention, a key factor in ongoing tensions in Nigeria's southwest. The lawmakers argue that dropping the case and opening talks will promote national reconciliation. The letter ends with an appeal for urgent action and an expression of confidence in Bola Tinubu's leadership. And the United States has criticized South Africa for expanding the guest list for this year's G20 summit, saying the gathering has basically become G100. Washington argues that inviting so many non-member states risks weakening the group's core mandate. South Africa, hosting the summit in Johannesburg on November 22nd and 23rd, has confirmed the attendance from 42 countries, 20 G20 members, 16 guest nations, and 6 regional economic communities. Pretoria says broader participation is essential for a more inclusive global dialogue, especially for the Global South. Speaking alongside United States President Donald Trump in the Oval Office, U.S. Secretary of State, or U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that under the U.S. G20 presidency starting on December 1, there will be fewer participants. And Eswatini has confirmed receiving $5.1 million United States dollars from Donald Trump's government in exchange for accepting migrants deported from the United States. a deal that has drawn criticism from rights groups. The government said the money will support improvements in the country's broader border and migration management systems. According to Human Rights Watch, the agreement allows Eswatini to take up to 160 deportees. So far, 15 have arrived, with only one already repatriated to Jamaica, and plans are underway to return the rest to their home countries. The government maintains it has been transparent about the United States covering the deportee welfare, repatriation costs, and other temporary expenses. With that, let's get to what is before us, what is unfolding, some of those events unfolding in our country, Liberia. But firstly, we want to thank God. A specific emphasis on George Weah's conduct. George Weah embodied or is typical of the verse in James. James 1:19 says, "Be slow to speak, quick to hear, slow to anger." Also, it is said, in the fullness of time, every person who plots against you, they will reveal their own plot with confession. And that is why God said, when they are hitting you on the right cheek, turn the left. It's not a reference for why they destroy the right jaw and then you turn the left, but it's a reference for waver. Nothing pains a human being that when the wall is weighing against you, to wave it. It's hard. It's the most difficult thing on earth. When people are plotting against you, when people are coming up with all kinds of stuff against you, and then you are told to wave it, to let it go, you tend to think whether that is even normal. But this is the command. And you have fewer people on earth who can do that. One of them is George Weah. We saw that when the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change that he heads as the political leader coming down, and his people were angry, vexed, mad, and told them, let it go, leave it. Everyone leave from there. So it's hard, but he had to let it go. It takes the fear of God, a determined person, and grace. It takes grace to carry such person. It's not easy to be a leader or a leader leading people, especially in an uncertain environment like ours. It's not easy. It takes God's grace. George Weah is a man, is a leader. What we've seen George Weah entertains, similar or same happened to politicians in this country. They will not entertain it. We'll see them blasting, saying all manner of things, coming up with threat. And it is based on that George Weah, some of his people will even reach the conclusion that he's weak. why he's not talking, why he's not taking action, why he's not. They will ask the question, why? The same question some of Martin Luther King people will ask him when he was fighting for black emancipation. They will question his policy. Some of them even left him. And when they left him, they said all manner of things, just as some people left George Weah, and you heard them say all manner of things against him. But Martin Luther King still kept his composure. He stayed calm. So George Weah kept his composure. He stayed calm and find solution. It takes a futuristic leader. It takes a determined leader. Above all, it takes the fear of God. Grace to carry such person. I've laid the basis, or I've set the stage. There's only one thing I'm discussing today, and it's on just what we'll talk about, and then I'm done. We bless God for George Weah, for being that quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, allowing God's will to prevail, sailing through grace to lead God's people. And I think I can start this way, having laid the basis with this song, Mercy Found Me. Mercy found George Weah. Mercy is carrying George Weah. Grace is his rod and staff.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't breathe. My soul was dying slow. Then you came and whispered, child, come home. Thank you, Lord. I walked through fire. I walked through rain, chasing peace inside my pain. But every step was just in vain till you called my name again.
Your mercy found me where I fell. You pulled me out of my own hell.
Now every breath I take is grace. I see your light in every place. Breathe in me again, Lord. Let your spirit fill my chest. I was lost and I was drowning. Now I'm living in your air. Breathe in me again. Breathe in me again.
Breathe in me again.
I felt the chains around my soul, but you made the broken whole. You took the ashes, turned to gold. Now my story must be told. You found me in the silence when I had nothing left to give. You breathe your life inside me. Now it's you in every breath I live.
Breathe in me again, Lord.
Yes, you will.
Let your fire never.
I am yours, I am forgiven.
I am forgiven.
Jesus.
Breathe in me again.
Breathe in me again.
Breathe in me again. Breathe in me again.
Your breath gave me life again. I was the one who ran away. Still you called me by my name. You forgave me first. I hid my face from grace so long, thinking I was too far gone. Every sin became my chain, but still you loved me through the pain. Hallelujah. You didn't wait for me to change. You met me in my mess and shame. When I fell apart, you held me close. You gave me peace I needed most. You forgave me first. When I was drowning in my worst, your mercy found me in the dirt. Oh, you forgave me first. 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 I tried to earn what's freely mine. I tried to earn what's freely mine. But grace don't come with any line. You tore the walls around my mind. You tore the walls around my heart. You tore the walls around my heart. And gave me back my brand new start. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. When I couldn't lift my head, you knelt beside my bed. Whispered, child, I never left. My love has conquered death. You forgave me first. You saw the beauty through the hurt. You took my guilt, you broke the curse. Jesus, you forgave me first. 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 Before I ever said a word, you forgave me first.
Everything the wordings or the music people will call it lyrics, embody or typical of George Weah's leadership over the Congress for Democratic Change in these uncertain dates prior to the destruction of the headquarters and the destruction of the headquarters and what he's faced with now and what had been happening to him in the past. The wordings or the lyrics, everything fit right in there. The title of it, Grace Found Me. Grace led me. I would have given up, but grace. It takes grace as a leader in such a time like ours, especially in this case of George Weah, to stay on, stay holding on. Yeah, it's the cross of what I've said and then followed by this song. Do you know that everything that was happening against George Weah was planned? They knew what they were doing. They planned it, they organized it, and they executed it with accuracy. They were scientific. but it was evil. And that is why today you can see why they are bitter, why they are angry. An evil person doesn't want evil to befall him. A rogue doesn't want anybody to steal from him. A murderer doesn't want anybody to kill him. But they feel comfortable. They find it so pleasant. They take joy in inflicting pains, hurt against other people. Yesterday, it was bitter, it was nasty, it was dirty, it was stink, without regret from Unity Party people. Here is a confession. Not only is a confession, but his own evil or their own evil spirit is haunting them. Their own shadow is going after them. That's why God said to George Weah, though you walk in the valley of shadow of death, everything that Unity Party and the people will plan, it will not bring you down. It will break you down just as Nehemiah was broken down, but Nehemiah was not. Rather, he withstood the test of time. He rose up to the occasion. I want you people to listen. At the end of the day, everything in that Senate and other places, from the from Unity Party in opposition, from Joe Yima Boakai as the political leader, down to all of the guys in the House of Representatives, the Senate, and other places, they had this thing called syndicate. They were working as a group. They were communicating well. They were executing the plan well. CDC people were sitting there, and but you can't blame them too. But we'll get to that. They have their own fault. Listen to Darius DeLore, the senator of Montserrado County. You please listen to the man's confession that truly they had a plan in there as opposition lawmakers that nobody George Weah was sent in a Senate, they will go. They had this plan in place to look for something on any one of the nominees that they will hook on and ensure that that person does not. They felt that that way they could stifle, they could frustrate George Weah in his leadership. If the guys resort to doing that today, I will support them 1 billion times. But they can't, because all of them, they achieve now, so they are civilized opposition. Listen to the man. Here is the senator with his confession.
My brother, distinguished colleague, on the 54th Senate, I was from the opposition. And I was allowed to be critical. And I was critical on the issues. I stood on the floor almost every session to fight the government to remove Wabodigi from government. I was not anti-Nigerians. I was not anti-foreigners. I was standing on the principle of the law that people who do not meet certain bare minimum legal requirement or qualification cannot occupy government offices. In fact, I was jovially referred to as Wabodigi. By the time I raised my hand here, the whole Senate would laugh, Wabodigi. But I told them, distinguished colleagues, I was in opposition in the 54th when CDC led this Senate. But we pushed in line with our oversight for Zorizo, peace be to the artists, to be denied Senate confirmation. The person who gave me Syrian, I want to take us seriously. Honestly, Toga Nimle was named designated chair to head LERC, the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission. He was CDCN under a CDC gavel we led the Senate to reject him. Madam Pro Tem, Darlington Kale was nominated by President Weah, a CDC, under a CDC gavel. Our Senator Taylor, we led that man rejection in the Senate. We were opposition. I did not vote for the budget on the record because I was demanding domestic debt list. Once they are here, never did we hear that we were anti-coup people because Samuel Tuer and George Weah are coup people.
You heard him and you understood him. You understood the syndicate. Syndicate means a group of people working together. They have a specific purpose. They know how to get it done. You heard him say, we led. And the word he will end with, reject. Mariama, is it Mariama Fofana, former representative? I think she stay around. Yeah, she said, I got between them. So, what led Darius Dillon to bring this up? Nobody forced him. No sedition choke him. No sedition threaten him. Nobody, George Weah, say anything to him. No official or officials around George Weah said anything to him. His own people, he's afraid of his own people. That his own people. He came out and said that the people want to kill him. That his life is under threat. I just thought to bring that first part, we'll go to the next one. To tell you that the guys in that Senate, in the opposition, led by this man, this Dara Dillon man is the evil. This is the evil incarnate. And you hear him explain that every CDC person went over there. Those guys will make sure. And you hear him, we talk about Zolizo. And he confirmed it. Zolizo, he made sure that they rejected Zolizo. And he brought the other guy in 3 persons. The lady, there was a lady judge we are sent to the aviation authority. What did they say? Martin Colley got on those guys back, feeding them how that George we are girlfriend and George they did all kinds of things. They sent a woman back. They ensure, led by this Darius Dillon. Today, his own evil is haunting him. He feels that he's the only loud mouth in the desert. He is the only person that can trumpet or should blow the trumpet. His own people, they're not sedition, so they're not CDC. Thank God, he said in CDC government, they never branded him anywhere. They never call him all kind of name. They never threaten him. But his colleagues would joke him in the Senate as Mr. Wabudeke because he was on Wabudeke back 24/7. How I forgot to bring that clip. But I think it should be here. It should be in our gallery. But it's not important now. You heard it, man? These guys were very vocal. They were consistent. You had these guys sitting down there, and the woman turned around and insulted them. I just thought to share that with you, how from the Senate, the House of Representatives, they were undermining. And we are people sat down there, and these guys were successful. Today, they're sitting in the Senate and House of Representatives like it is the first time coming to Liberia or being born in Liberia, fast track they grow, and then they're in the Senate and House of Representatives. So they know what happened. They have no history of the past. Listen, I just, every time I sit down and think about these guys, I feel sorry for George Weah. I feel sorry for George Weah. When United Party people say George Weah not coming back, not that they know that George Weah can come back. They know George Weah weight. They know George Weah power. But they feel and they are convinced that George Weah has weakling around him. The guys who sitting in the Senate, who should be helping George Weah at this time going forward, they're sitting there and allowing a number of things to happen. It was God who led this Darius Dillon men to expose what they were doing in the past. You ever heard it, man? Let's have a lesson again.
My brother, distinguished colleague, on the 54th Senate, I was from the opposition. And I was allowed to be critical. And I was critical.
He said he was allowed to be critical and he was critical. Today, when you talk, then they say you're cussing. When ABE is realistically critical, then they say you're cussing the president. Yesterday, they had Yeka Koluba and the rest of the people. They had Heron Costa and the other people saying all manner of things. They were cussing George Weah to the core. It was not wrong yesterday. Today, it's wrong. When I say these people are wicked, they are dull. And these people, if they're not careful, they will fall down. You just see some United Party men walking on the street, just fall down and die. That's how God can start. That's how judgment. Judgment is not nothing in heaven. They say, oh, you're going to stand. No. When you hear judgment in the Bible, it starts on earth. When you see those actions, that's what it means. These people, when God get ready, that's why he said in 1 Samuel, he said, I go, I kill. I take all from the grave, I put to the grave, I make poor, I make rich. He explained himself what he does on earth with everybody existing. When you see some people, they're living, you just hear, something just happen, oh, we know, oh, no. You see some people just suffering, year in, year out, the suffering, year in, year out, the suffering. They can't find anything, they're just suffering that God there, God punish it. Because they kind of evil, devilish act. When you undermine your fellow, when you undermine your government, you undermine your fellow, your president of the day, simply because you are against him. It's just a matter of time before God allow you to confess. The man said, under CDC government, he was free. And that's true. Nobody bothered them. They used to curse we are any kind of way. They used to say anything they want to say, whichever. We are in bother them. When they know that we are is about to make a nomination, they will form the syndicate and reach an agreement that that man will not pass, that woman will not pass. And truly,
on the issues, I stood on the floor almost every session to fight the government to remove Wabodingi from government. I was not anti-Nigerians. I was not anti-foreigners. I was standing on the principle of the law that people who do not meet certain bare minimum legal requirement or qualification cannot occupy government offices.
You heard his stupidity that they demonstrated today? That a nominee who doesn't meet a bare minimum requirement was not required to occupy that government office. Today, Bintu Salif, why he, Senator Dillon, did not stand over there. And you don't expect Dillon? No. Dillon will now oppose. He is a member of the government. He opposed yesterday because he was in opposition. The opposition members, especially CDC members in that Senate, they should have stood up and said, this woman lied on her oath. This woman is messed by her academic credential. She intentionally lied, falsified. She cannot. You can't blame Dillon today. He can do it because he's part of the establishment. He was doing it yesterday because he was in the opposition and against the president of the day, undermining the government, that he wanted the government to fail. The guy said there today, what you see them doing? You hear the man say, we fought the government.
I was standing on the principle of the law. That I the government to remove Wabodigi from government. I was not anti-Nigerians. I was not anti-foreigners. I was standing on the principle of the law that people who do not meet certain bare minimum legal requirement or qualification cannot occupy government offices. In fact, I was jovially referred to as Wabodigi. By the time I raised my hand here, the whole Senate would laugh, Wabodigi. But I told them, distinguished colleagues, I was in opposition in the 54th when CDC led the Senate. But we pushed in line with our oversight for Zorizo, peace be to the artists, to be denied Senate confirmation. The person who gave me serious, I want to don't take us seriously. Honestly, Tora Nimle was named designated chair to head LERC, the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission. He was CDCN under a CDC gavel. We led the Senate to reject him. But about him, Darlington Kale was nominated by President Weah, a CDCN under a CDC gavel. Our Senator Dillon, we led that man rejection in the Senate. We were opposition. I did not vote for the budget on the record because I was demanding domestic debt list. Once they are here, never did we hear that we were anti-coup people because Samuel Tue and John we are the coup people.
Good. So you know now. I just thought to share that with you. So you know. Your lawmakers sit over there. We're pressing, we're pushing, and we believe it. We are returned. But listen, the same God said when you have a part of your whole that is not responsive with your policy, with your action, there is every likelihood that you will encounter problem. These guys were successful, as you heard Senator Darius Dillon explain. And we know the lady, I just forgotten her name. We are sent her to the airport authority. They deny her. They deny a couple of those guys. What were they doing? The goal was to frustrate this man. Let's ensure that he doesn't get what he wants. While the guys on the other side, they were working. Again, you can blame him that he isn't saying anything now, and don't expect him to say anything critical of anybody because he's in the lead. He's on the first team. He wouldn't criticize any one of his people. He knows that lady messed up. He knows other people. But it was the game yesterday to just make things, just frustrate George Weah. So he can do anything. The guys now who are there from CDC, from a ruling establishment to opposition, they have to step up to the plate now. Here's the main issue. Today, he crying death. That threat is on his life. He's afraid of his, even though he said he's not afraid of threat. He's not afraid of threat. How is it possible? You alarm death threat. Then you say you're afraid of the threat. That's not true. That's not true. Death is nothing that you flirt with. Death is nothing that you play with. Death, you cease to exist. So the sign of death cannot make anybody happy. It frightens you. And that's the reason why you will react or you will bring it out. He's afraid his own people from his own thing. The same thing he did against those officials from CDC, he feels that he can do it. And listen, I told you yesterday that how Darius Dillon works. When Darius doesn't like you, he will use everything within his power to go at you, to get at you. That's how he is. He says there are too many things happening to Freeport. He will not talk because there is his interest. Too many things happening within the Ministry of Education. Look at the education sector. Look at the things that are happening there. He will not talk because his GM brother, wife is the Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Mali. He brought her. Say, Mama, start sitting down in America there. You just, you know, you get doctorate degree. In Laboral doctorate degree, everybody will bow to you. So don't worry. Come here. I will make sure that you become Minister of Education. So all of the messaging that going on within the Ministry of Education, do you see Darrell Dillon saying anything? No. He looks for somebody that he can open his arsenal against, all of his weapons. He took it to the Minister of Labor. Darrell Dillon is a person who keeps grudge, and he uses his portfolio or he uses his position as the weapon against you. We know him from time to time, but the man just explained the thing. The man explained himself. And the man, understand it? The man explained himself. The man said we move against, and he called Zolizo, he called 4 persons that he led. He made sure that they were denied. Because he does not favor corporate crowd. He comes with a labor job thing, giving permit, Liberian getting job. You said that here your president who leads the country, the executive, he said you are giving 10,000 jobs. All of the international community, they released their report that not a single job he has created. What do? Can you summon the president? Tell him why this is not happening. But he will go after people he think he can go after. And then he said that he feels that he's the only loud mouth in that Senate. He know that they get man in man. So the man began to start reacting. The man, he said, made it clear. The man went to information ministry. He said, Dillon against him. So what made him scared now? He feels that the people won't do something to him traditionally. And he said, get beat more. He feels the people want to do something to him traditionally. So he come and say, oh, his life is at risk. His life is threatening. He fear for his life. They want to kill him. Who has time for you? Chief, you are non-entity. Nima County people ain't get time for you. Don't put that thing on tribe or something. Listen to the man crying. The man explaining in the Senate. He almost cried. The pro tem, his colleagues, all of them, they gave him attention to talk. He almost burst into tears, crying. He started going back over his life, the thing he's been doing in the past that led him to the present. Y'all listen to the man.
Where that nonsense coming from? Manapote, distinguished colleagues. Where that nonsense, left-threatening thing coming from? That when you speak of government,
you listen to his voice. His voice was cracking. At that point, you see the person, just like the person should start crying out. That fear, anger mixed with fear, frustration. But the main thing that was bothering him as he was talking, he was thinking about Nimba County. He was thinking traditional. He almost cried. And he said, you man, and he said, get loud mouth. Continue to scream, shout, yell. Let's listen here. Sorry, I won't interrupt again.
Nonsense coming from Manapote, distinguished colleagues. Where that nonsense, left-threatening thing coming from? That when you speak of governance issue, oversight, then you are supposed to be anti-NIMA. My left is threatened, my left is at risk. Because the people who speaking, I know them. Manapotem. Manapotem, the Minister of Public Works must be brought before the Senate. The Minister of Labor, I want to make a case. If it makes sense, okay. If it doesn't, fine, I can live with it. The Minister of Labor did not go to his house to make a wild allegation to the effect that he was nominated by President Joseph Nima Bwaka to be Minister of Justice. His nomination was formally communicated to the Senate in keeping with the law and the practice, and that our Darius Dillon, as senator, fought his nomination in the Senate until the president withdrew him. He did not say that in his living room. Madam President, all of us in the Senate, in our Senate chat room, we have the video. The Minister of Labor, he is angered in our exercise of our oversight responsibility on the work permit issue, went to the government-funded, sanctioned press conference at the MICAT, Ministry of Information, where he said on video, live, that Senator Dillon is against the people from Nima. It's the same way I'm targeting him because the president nominated him. His letter came here and I fought it until the president withdrew him. In a same press conference at the Ministry of Information, regular weekly press briefing, the Minister of Labor said that that's the same target I used to target Senator Chris Johnson, peace be to his address. And that's the same thing I'm doing to him for another Nima person to die. But I told him, I'm not afraid, but my life is threatened. Your life can be threatened. Why are you being afraid of the threat? You understand? I want to make it clear, our honor George, we are government and our declared national security threat. I couldn't even move places. But the reason I'm making all these statements in this chamber is because all these things are happening. When the labor minister came here as a nominee, he sat there and I asked him about work permit, what we would do about work permit to give our people a job. And he committed, and I told him that I will vote for you so that after 6 months, you can come give us what we're doing on the work permit issue for our people to get jobs. And in the exercise of that duty, when I confirmed that labor minister that day, my protest distinguished colleagues, I want to make it clear that he was not a cruel man when I confirmed him. He was not Basa. He was not far. He was from Nima when I confirmed him to be Minister of Labor. So my questions on his performance, especially when it has to do with work permit issue, cannot be now that because he's from Nima and Guillaume.
So, yeah, who wants to kill? The man simply saying he afraid of Kopokra because Kopokra is from Nima County. And Kopokra became them from Nima County. The man went to burn Nima County as war county. People who just know war. That's how he characterized the people of Nima County. Listen to the man. You of a senator, is that what you should say of a county, especially in this time that the country is fighting, still trying to leave this war thing, even though some people still living with that psychological scars. The very president, Joseph Nima Bwaka, who will talk about reconciliation, all kinds of things, and they would say all over the place. His senator, Darius Dillon, still characterizing Nima County and Nima County people as war people. That's the message he sent across to express his fear that they are noted for war. Nima people are killers, and if something is not done, it means his life will be taken. He's afraid. That's how he presented it. How can you say that of Nima County? Even if the war started from Nima County, that's history now. Talk about the issue. Forget about the people county. They did not say you deny them, or Kopokra will say you were against it because he's from Nima County. No, Kopokra ain't see it that way. Kopokra only saw the issues. His people saw the issues. They were not looking at it from a tribal or a county perspective. So you can reduce it. When you blunder, own up to your blunder. You feel that you know too much. You feel that you're the only senator in this country that know it all. Now it's catching up with you. Look how the man branded Nima County. You're listening to the end.
Let me go further. In the Senate trial, I put a video. The Assistant Secretary of MDR, who is a staff at the Ministry of Labor, went on the radio in Nima County to rally Nima County that I killed Queen Johnson. And I want to kill another Nibaya again. Man, I brought them, distinguished colleagues. Mr. Frederick Bay is the Deputy Director of Communications at the Ministry of Labor. He and two other quote-unquote civil society institutions issued damning statements against me. He is the Deputy Communications Director at the Ministry of Labor. When I brought them, the minister has said MDR, the people who talking on their own, MDR itself has spoken. Everything the gentleman said to the people of Nima, in Nima, on the radio, that I'm doing everything to frustrate Nima from becoming president. I'm undermining the rescue government unity, and I'm doing it because Labour Party is all kinds of stuff. The gentleman said all of those things, and in MDR official press conference, all those things are enumerated there. The Minister of Labor himself had gone to government platform to say these things. He's the chairman of MDR. MDR Deputy Secretary has spoken. MDR herself has spoken. What one of them permitting business is Nima business coming. When I fought here for us to do domestic debt, even at that the CDC government did not say I will anti-coup people. But what happened today? After audit of domestic debt, officially the GSC reported that the government should not pay $704 million in domestic debt on verified claims. Imagine if we are not fought to bring domestic debt issue to light. Bogus claims. This is not joke. This is not joke. You got our serious people. They'll do anything. So I'm asking the Senate, and let me close. I'm making a case for Mr. Eugene Fagon to be brought before the Senate. Because what he said that we have on tape, video, in our tribal and on social media was not against Senator Snow, was against the Senate, was against the Senate. At this point in time, Liberia has seen plenty quote-unquote hero.
Listen now, he's going to the characterization of the people of Nima County and Nima County. Listen.
By the time they die, they are forgotten, especially all kind of way. My life is threatened. I'm serious about this. I have no negative will toward Nima. I just committed my vote. All my colleagues here know I hardly do that to commit vote in advance, especially doing confirmation hearing to somebody. I committed to Martinez Timber last week because he performed, he convinced me that he can be a good minister of mines. I committed that vote. He's not from Grand Bassa County. He is not from Riverside or Sino or Grenville. He is from Nima. Senator Taylor, I could be lying down one day. I know those people that are talking. During the war, when war started for Nima, everywhere a Nima man who had gone enter, he said Babua because he expected everybody to be from Nima. I know them. I know them. I know them. They will stand up, they will defend one another. When you put in there, then they quit. I was submit.
So they will defend one another. When you push in there against the wall, then they come. You're fair now. Darius Dillon is just wicked. Wicked guy. The guy is He's that kind of person that goes after people he don't like. That's how he has been operating all along. And truly, that's Prince Johnson's stuff. You heard it. How he and Prince Johnson was on and off. And Prince Johnson got vexed. And Prince Johnson threatened him. I hope I can get that. Prince Johnson threatened him. He was on Prince Johnson 24/7 with this war crime code. If he wasn't targeting Prince Johnson, why today he can talk about Romeo Kuya and the rest of the guys who are alive? Why he can raise the issue of the war crimes code? If you're worrying after the person, because that's simple logic, simple reasoning. That's how people infer or reach conclusion. If you're worrying targeting this person, the person is no longer existing. But there are others who are existing that you are concerned about prior to this man's death on the same issue. So why you can talk about Romeo Kuya? Why you can talk about what the other man that said if he didn't participate in the war, George Bullitt, Dixon Sibo, and the others would not have been alive. They are still alive, all of those guys. Why you can raise the issue? Madam President, yeah, the war crimes code, the president has set up the war crimes code office. We need to fast track. Why you can say? Because he was after Senator Prince Johnson. The senator gone. You can hear anything on war crimes code in that Senate again. That's how Dillon operates. That's the same thing he tried carrying to Kopakra. So Kopakra went to the Ministry of Information. Where is it? I think I should have it. He went to the Ministry of Information and said that Senator Darius Dillon is after him. Darius Dillon is targeting him. And Darius Dillon confirmed it. He said the man said at his household. He went on the public platform, Ministry of Information, Ministry of Causing Affairs, and said Darius Dillon is after him. The man did not say Darius Dillon after the people of Nimba County. The man said Darius Dillon after him. That's what he said. So he shouldn't try to twist it. But thank God the man revealed the hate, the evil they had. Thank God he revealed how they were undermining George Weah government. Today, they don't want anybody to do anything of such. They don't want anybody to undermine the government. They don't want anybody to say anything. But yesterday, they had this evil plan. This evil plan to frustrate George Weah government, to undermine, and that's what they were doing. It's haunting them today, and they don't want anybody to talk. Everybody that went over there, Darius Dillon led the person's rejection. Every nominee, he made sure that they were not, that he almost say, that I'm saying it for him, that he almost.
My brother, distinguished colleague, under the 54th Senate, I was from the opposition. And I was allowed to be critical. And I was critical on the issues. I stood on the floor almost every session to fight the government to remove Wabodigi from government. I was not anti-Nigerians. I was not anti-foreigners. I was standing on the principle of the law that people who do not meet certain bare minimum legal requirement or qualification cannot occupy government offices. In fact, I was jovially referred to as Wabodigi. By the time I raised my hand here, the whole Senate would laugh, Wabodigi. But I told them, distinguished colleagues, I was in opposition in the 54th when CDC led the Senate. But we pushed in line with our oversight for the result, peace be to the artists. to be denied Senate confirmation. The person who gave me swear and I want to don't take us seriously. Honestly, Toga Nimle was named designated chair to head LERC, the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission. He was CDCN under a CDC gavel. We led the Senate to reject it. Malaprotem, Darlington County was nominated by President Weir, a CDCN under a CDC gavel. Our Senator Taylor, we led that man rejection in the Senate. We were opposition. I did not vote for the budget on the record because I was demanding domestic debt list. Once they are here, never did we hear that we were anti-coup people because Samuel Tue and John we are the coup people.
Yes, that's what they thought yesterday, and they think they can do it today again, but it's not possible. Wicked guys, very wicked, very, very wicked, wicked guys. Very, very wicked. So that the man's confession there, yeah, it's up to, it's up to CDC lawmakers. And please, this is no discouragement, but you can conclude from signs. I don't think we need to depend on CDC lawmakers, though not all some are critical, but not all you need to depend on 100%. I don't think we need to wait 2027, 2028, say, well, let's give the people a chance. 2028, let's see what we'll do. No. You should know by now if those guys are serious. I am told that between 17, 18% senators affixed their signature for the woman's passage. Those 17, 18, not only Unity Party, Independent, CDC was in there. And all of them who are CDC senators in that place, they knew exactly. They saw what was happening against them by the opposition. Darius Dillon, they heard Darius Dillon standing in from them and said, we reject it. They did everything. If the opposition senators and representatives can step up to the plate, well, that's it. That's it. They will have to do something too. The men explained that it was organized. They ensure that Zolizo and the rest of the people were rejected. Nobody forced him to say. Nobody put anything in his mouth. Nobody put anything like how they can say kafu or what kind of food. Sasewu. It's natural. Because he feels that the people of Nima County will go traditional with him. So he tried drawing sympathy, or he thought he could use CDC as sympathy, to draw sympathy rather. CDC, we did this, we did that. They never branded us. They never threatened us. Chief, that's the kind of person you are. If George Weah was reasonable, his government was reasonable. They opened the space for people to exercise their function. Yeah, the Rescue Senate is a puppet of a Senate. Nobody has time because everybody knows that, oh yes, Unity Party will just flow anything, no problem whatsoever. And he himself say, the people say, we're serious. Truly, you're serious. That's why we lambast you every day. You think we should be talking to you people the way we talk? No. But because you people are giving us the reason, you call yourselves honorable, and you're not doing the honorable thing. White teeth, black hat. And Dallas Dillon had a serious confrontation with George Weah. You can remember? He said, oh, yeah, you came to my hall, you ate all kinds of things. And he still has grudge against George Weah, that Dallas Dillon man you see. So very wicked character. Wicked. That's why they're haunting him now. Then he there, the people of Nima County, they people get time for you. Dallas Dillon, you vulnerable. If the people of Nima County want to finish you, they will finish you in not less than a second. So don't think that because you're standing over there, you're shouting. Corporal Cry get time for you? You think Corporal Cry, that kind of man will reduce himself? The man only made it clear he was being intellectual, and that's how it is. When somebody, when the person is hating you hard, doesn't it make sense to say this person is hating me? Why you can do it your own? You get Jason Malley in our education sector. Look how the education sector looking. Nothing happening. The woman just sitting there enjoying herself. Why you can bring your own? Because that your brother wife. But the other people you stretch on. The boy they get time for you, chief. If Nima County people won't finish with you in a twinkling of an eye, they finish with you. You think you're strong, you won't cover with anything. That just be more. You just can't real loud more. You have to come to yourself. That loud more you had in George Weah time, the people had no time for you. You are enjoying yourself as you confess. That your own government now. That your own government, thank God, they're not George Weah time. Thank God you made it clear that George Weah time, you had a seal, you had a smooth ride. It was a walk in the park for you. So you feel now that you can still continue. That's why in life, if you're doing something when the other people in talk, it doesn't say you should continue. It only means the people that you were brought in front, they will not entertain it. That fear you have, you're acting like a paranoid. You allow paranoid to set in you that the people of Nima County want to do something to you. Your life is threatened. The people get time for you. Be in a place and be shouting and screaming. When Snow them raising their issue, and you are there making fun of Senator Snow, and you are saying, when Senator Snow said the government threatening his life is threatened, and you are there, you are laughing. It can't happen to one person can complain, and now your time to complain, huh? You pull it behind Prince Johnson 24/7 until Prince Johnson went under the ground. Then you turn to another Nima County man. You think the people stupid? Even if the people, besides the issue, they will start thinking tribal way. Oh, but our senator, they may behind Senator Johnson 24/7. Senator Johnson died. Then he on another Nima County man again. So what if the mayor targeting Nima people? You may not think that way. It may not be your intent. But the way you go about doing it, people will start thinking that way. So Dillon, you gave the people the reason to think that way. You may have had a good argument about the work permit, but the approach, the way you go and do it, that Senate is not a place to be lambasting people, to be shouting, protest, let invite the minister of public work, the minister of labor, let him come here and explain, and we want to know what is it. No. But because you people don't know exactly what you people are as legislators, so you think the place is a place to subject people, to suppress them, to reduce them to nothing. You think that what the Senate in the House of Representatives for, you think because you people are there, your laws. So everybody must bow to you. You people just went there on a basis of opportunity. You people are just opportune. It's not that you're seizing. It's not that you people are so different. Take time to address your colleagues. If the person is doing something within the executive and you're not satisfied as part of your oversight responsibility, there is a way you can do that. You can even approach the person. You can call a meeting. Where will it take you to say, Corporal Cry, as Minister of Information, I would like to see you in my office, or I will drive to your office so that we sort out X, Y, Z. I've been, what is calling this? You think oversight that only to stay in the Senate and blast and call, then you call that oversight? So your oversight, you use simple discretion, just like your other colleagues can do. They say, oh, Mr. Minister of Public Works, there's the issue XYZ, but I think we need to have a conference over it. Let's say it's either I come at your office if it is convenient for you, or you come at my office at the legislature, or we can find a neutral place. And that's how some of his colleagues work. They sort out things, they get things done. They get an insight into the concern they have. So don't be afraid, yeah? Nobody, Nimakande people, you won't care you. Kobo crying get time for you, chief. That your own evil heart, your own evil spirit haunting you. You talk too much. You just like, you should be the only person shouting in that Senate. Everything you own it. Everything you own it. When say you're not up using your oversight, but your oversight is selective. You go against certain people, you leave certain people. Like your sister-in-law there, why you can't tell your colleagues to summon her? Why you can't be on her 24/7? And because that's your interest? Then you crying here, they won't kill you, they won't kill you. Whoever thought that you even reduce yourself to that level? Continue. All right. So this one is on the screen. Huh? This is not a topic. Are you seeing it on the screen? Yeah. I brought it because I like the headline. That's all. I like the headline. Sorry. Only the people on the screen seeing it. I like the headline. The Liberian Investigator newspaper. I like the headline. Yeah. This is a new paper on the newsstand, Liberian Investigator. Not long, but they have positioned. It has positioned itself within the media landscape. They are credible. They are investigative. They just everything of a media institution. Above all, they know how to cut headline. The Liberian Investigator. They know how to cut headline. They come up with something in a headline in what we call in broadcast catchy headline. That means it draws your attention immediately. Even if you are busy, you will stop what you're doing to go into the story itself. I just thought to share this with you. That's all. You see it on the screen? I like the headline. What it say? A liar confirmed. Yeah. A liar confirmed. I like the headline. You like it too? Thanks to the Liberian Investigator. Keep it. Oh, guys, you guys are very good. Yeah, okay. That's all. I just thought to share. It's not a topic. I just thought to share because I like the headline. A liar confirmed. Thank you so much, Newton. Thank you so much, my dear. Take it out. Veteran IT expert, Newton Tukba. Man, we're always behind the scene, making sure that everything is done well. All right. So that's it. Let's go now. Let's go. Let's go to the line 0772-2399-33 0777-980375. I imagine how your real blast Dillon. The man confess, oh. The man confess. Yeah, fear. So fear can lead to confession too. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I didn't announce, but I think I can do in the next few minutes that we have. You can do so much. The King's Cash giveaway. It's 4,000 we are giving out today. Please start playing on. Sorry, it was an oversight. It wasn't intentional. Start playing. We're giving out 4,000, and the 4,000 can give you 8,000. And besides the 8,000, we have our partners brought in bags of rice and oil and telephone. So you can get 8,000. That 8,000 can give you a bag of rice. It can also give you a phone. You're playing 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents. That's the double. 4,000 gives you 8,000. So when you play, you win 4,000, automatically you get 8,000. So it means 4,000 free. Play as many times as you can. You can also receive a bag of rice with oil. You can also receive phone. So all those things are available for you. The big gallon of oil, the bag of rice, the cell phone, besides the 4,000. The money aspect, when you win 4,000, you will get 8,000. So that 4,000 there will give you free 8,000. So you just need to play as many times as you can. Dial *799 *24#. Play with 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US, and then that's it. Then you can collect your rice, your oil, your food, while you get your 8,000 in your pocket. Let's go to the line, take few calls, and then we are out for today. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Okay. This is Emmanuel Sono, and I'm calling from Turkey City, Nigeria. Thank you very much for the show. But before I can let me say this, nobody has very good.
My man, you talk louder, Chief. You're not ready yet. You're talking like you're learning how to talk. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Andrews.
Yeah.
This is Pastor Emmanuel Kopo. I come from Barnabas District 11 precisely.
Let's hear you, Pastor.
Yeah, you see, they got a common adage: what goes around comes around. By 18 to 19, out of vision on the senator downtown. And there was a picture up here that says he sounds like a city power. You know that power can talk too much. So today, that kind of talk landed him in trouble, most especially where he has spoken against. You see, people take record of what you do against another group of people. You can't brand the people that way. Or even in Rwanda, nobody call anybody Tutsi or Husi or rebel. It is a law. They've been passing the law. So we pass that level and you keep branding these people in that kind of minor. And not everybody will take the kind of thing you do to them. Especially when the people are not in the wrong, like you said, Redman, like we need to address issue. Look at Ghana, Rwanda, Ivory Coast. There's a kind of progression of development that is competitive. But here, we denigrating people because we want power, want to be made known. You make sure you destroy somebody because you don't like them. That is not politics, that is evil. So the thing that he did today against the former government, especially the former president, is haunting him. He has gone to the place where the people are holding him accountable. Because I saw a clip that even harassed the former senator of Nima Kante. They had an open class in the corridor of the chamber. And the man said, you will see, and he challenged the man. But we spiritual people, we look at these people because you can't talk loser in a village.
All right, Pastor Koba.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, Emmanuel again. I was trying to make my point, but you said that you were not getting me.
Yeah, but you were talking, my man, like you don't want to talk. Let's hear you now. You see that? You're going off. Hello.
Yeah, that is Amagi.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Lila female calling from Government Monaco. Thank you for the show, Van. For coming on the show. Everything. Thank you for it. Zahajo, is it down to me? You know, in the issue, I don't want to be carrying medicine to get people. The hell is going to be maybe that I want making you in the issue, I want going in it, and I we can allow you in the issue every minute. Because you can't be without one alone, you look at us on the case, and I said, okay, you're going to get a payment, but anything I pretend to see it. What made that you even asshole? Non, mais là, j'ai pas les positions de country. Et là, non, il va pour là, on est couru, il est pour tout ça, il a tout suivi, on fait le coup, il est country. Tu vois, il a dit ça, on met les maisons, il va à ça. On a la faire continuer la méthode qui est pour faire ça. On met les deux, les maisons pour bien, on les a quittés. On a ma main exposée, comme ma main fait pour 1 year. On va la y va donner. Allez, si on a quoi exposé, mais quand on buy for the time, that will be looking to more. Oh, idea to follow it. Buy it tomorrow, we can tomorrow, not in the Ogu. Let me tell you, Mr. Andrew.
Okay. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sir Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Victoria Bar calling from Johnson Day. Thank you very much, my brother, for the service. I listen to that, you know, play. He said, let's do this so. PB to the ashes in talking. In the last so in a place and men are educated. What else can we put for him? That don't deny because the message my poverty that I suffer from and the valley that go and church are going to defend it. That what I do the man say. He say I will kill people. I do not go and fire right in the send against the hero. They did not so today. All our government because President say then the Senate get their own way to do. I will interfere in the Senate. I do not never around. When they get in that place, they did not. Another person we appointed did not the person. So if you say anyone to over cry, even in the that one I can't tell anything, my brother, because I see people from far countries after the house you're getting. And they're going in time. So what you see us, the people they can never get no more ground. Especially they put like in far countries. They get headed for them. So the last one. When they put it, that house, you know, that they lie. I just see some food for 5 or 2 hours, must stop it. I get laugh. Let me tell you, like, we let wicked question, what I always say. I said, we let wicked, no, you have people telling, we're going to be quiet, so we stop it. But like, when that wicked, when you wicked in the country, my brother, they will heal you.
Okay.
We let no good, you know. Like, you can have a career, right?
Thank you.
You know,
Okay. Let's bring on the next person. Hello. You don't want to stay on the line. I can take as many persons as I can, but don't stay long on the line. Hello. Yeah. You are on the air, Chief. But man, you get your radio loud. Your radio clouding your understanding. Then hello. You reduce the radio.
Thank you so much for the program. I'm Orlando Wama. I'm calling from Kimball.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the program. You know, Liberia, this country believes we are Christian country or we are Christian nation. Yes, chief have confessed now. So I believe what all he did in the past to people or what he has done to people in the past, he has confessed all. So now we are knowing their body and we are knowing what they can do. We are praying to God. You are God over every day and night, every day you are there talking on behalf of people. We know Liberia everyone else. One point to God that Liberia should be and should be led by a president that ever Liberia is doing. Equally so, in that light, while we are praying to God, we should know also that God can dedicate leaders. As God dedicated that, we are the leader at the time. So now this come around, as brother is there, why we not pray to God that we know what all that is going on? But let us pray to God that all give us a leader that will lead us. As you are pushing for pushing the power that another person to carry power. But let us pray, and he may not forget also the what you were doing in the past. Let you come back. Say you want to win, let you come back. Do something better than tomorrow.
Okay. All right, Chief. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can take as many of you as I can before 5 o'clock. You just need to go straight to the point. That's all. Just go straight. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sam Andrew, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Thank God. And you?
Okay. This is George Dankwa. Okay. My attention is going to direct topic against imbalance. That is the way to for educated men now since they drop out, they're putting them on imbalance. But Nima County will be a buster. Nima County will be a buster. Then start putting a team up on imbalance. Thank you.
Hello. 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 Chief, lower the radio. Lower your radio.
Yeah. Good evening, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Anthony Oyabo, and I call for Don't Join this Junction. You see this life, what you sow is what you reap. If I was there talking, one who feels that he's clever, God makes him more clever. So whatever that and so I even wanted to reap it more than they are reaping it now. So then you continue, then you go on with the punishment. I wanted to start with you to CDC party. So then you continue with that punishment. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I say I just want to tell you thank you for Pastor yesterday. Some of all can try to join it now, no way, so we can't bother to call, but I think you call. Thank you, you continue to open our understanding. Thank you very much. Let God guide you, Israel and Abraham. Let God be with you. Lord, continue your good work in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Hello.
Hey, Sam Andrew.
Yep.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm doing good. And you?
Yeah, I'm okay, Papa. I'm okay. God give us a new birthday today.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the show. And to the public, this is my sister calling for the pro coming to our town here.
That job, my CC?
Oh, the title no attire not today.
Put all your titles there.
Okay, the title, the ambassador.
There are three doctorate degrees you get.
There are three, I guess. So I will do doctor.
Then I'm 4.
So say I'm making a tire with the oh God. I get in there for the Lord business, but for St. Andrew. What they don't do to CDC, he break it. And he read to break about it. Because people that will vote for will say, yes, we got more people in the hall for the CDC, although there were not political parties that joined up and made a CDC. So we expect them, what they supposed to do in our hall, they must check the other people. But can the very get over it? When I can get over it. So see one man controlling our ego, that why I miss my general. I miss my general so much. Because when he in our hall, it will not happen. He will love it. The point refused 4 parties. Just like administration, he refused 4 parties. He said no, we will not make to pass. They went in a day and said no, we will not confirm them. And for 2 years, they make it repeat. They will protest for them, will put it out to say, going to anything that's happy, that want to happen, that will tell them about something. Hey, well, it's not good for us. They will put some of they're sitting down there. Then they're going to dumb me, set it down. They're controlling the anything kind of thing, we'll tell them about qualification. That's what I passed today. She qualify. No one lie on her off. She lie on her off. She see myself, I'm very sorry. But yesterday, when Felicia said, oh, it might come my parents said I have someone to bill. If you want to do something for them, go far play. But if you my person want to destroy it, I will come after you. They take it and they come out Benny. And they brought Felicia down. Tell them at the airport, they said the man brought 5 degree. They brought 5 degree. She brought 35 paper and she said 5 degree.
Yeah. There was a guy we are appointed. They said the man that drum beater in the church, a choir director. So he was not wanted to be accepted. They rejected him.
Yeah. And again, I know you can do reach on Facebook and reach go tell do a video. I said, oh, let me not do he do F wazi. Then I was denied. They see the was there. Capini, 70% was denied. 4 parties. So double dicky. They deny him because he was found out with people that one. But what was the woman now? The one they brought to the one like what you to the auto, or in the deputy of the Osase, the minister. She qualified for that job. She qualified because it was the same tree. So she loved it and they made more to pass today. But also because we let them win the sun and rain. We see our boys here. Well, behind that, they will make sure I'll put going to us. So it's bad because they will stop it. They say that they're controlling there. They say, but he has friend of his life. No matter okay, my brother, must make here. Remember, telling you, say, you after him. You after me, you after him. So to see that, what you are doing to finish, you can get another person. The thing is that what we do, not correct you after you say no. If you just say, but anyway, back when you go to walk out, the majority I will tell you around one day. So that if you have to walk out again. You think when they put it, they can firewall, they can do everything. And no, they're too good. No, never what? Oh, they are careless there.
Okay.
When I bring I bring the money. What for you there? Oh, behind you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Sisi.
Thank you, Papa.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Let's hear you. Yeah. Fine.
Thank you for the show, David. God, what to yourself. You are after people to say the start finish. That lie way here start finish. The la way they get in our weather. The walker outside. The whistle at outside. And so that there. You laugh and we let our get our boy. You want to you swallow it. They were so much in the corner. They're laughing. But this time, that brother was so far money to put on the ground. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, when off, let's go. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, this is Peter Salam. Women in our house, in our particular house, we don't get no center in our house. Since you don't get no center there, because I will go center in our whole place. They don't care for facility for position. They don't care. You see what that don't talking? That just talking like that in for the people. Nobody to talk. You see it? Tell something. Let me tell you. What the to now? Will not depend on people. Let's find a level. Let's find people to go. You look for our own people for there. Thank you for the program.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Chief, say hello. You say hello. I say hello. Then you say hello again. You on the air, Tom?
Yeah, I'm Janje for Guajo.
Hey, Tom, Janje, you on the air?
Oh. Yeah, I want to say to you that according to you, say you want to down the pool, walk back on the floor. I want the prison to die. So that prison won't find a way in Liberia. The thing is.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I'm the chance. I'm a boy. I'm my me from the as I said, like what I was still cooking that you can be senator. Let me tell you, our lawmaker, our senator, in your horse. Let's set it down that you for setting today, and they will set it down there. And we also working for and then we listen to it today.
Okay.
We're not talking, we must sit down.
Right.
Don't let to the down. We'll make good decision for our people.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine.
Yeah, thank you for the show. Thanks for the enlightenment. But this is a warning message to the CDC senators in the House there. That's a complete disgrace to them. Because they don't to breathe. It made sure all of the people that we have nominated, they were all on the floor. They gave him the floor to do that. But now, they're sitting there, they're not making more all of that. 2029, we know we are for 2029. But in voting for senators or representatives, we know how to do our voting. So when they're telling them, by 2029, even if we are put some people in offices, we'll be going, we'll meet them one-to-one. If we do something what you are not to be doing in our particular office, we'll meet you one-to-one, especially if you want to harm us. But we'll speak our mind. So thank you for the enlightenment, Mr. Andrew.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Andrew.
Yep.
This is Error Council. Hello?
Yeah, Edo Council are listening.
Yeah, that man posted. I listen to him. It was 2 months I got to call my phone. So he won't tell me he did it. Because he say you are going in a horse. You have to fight your way. You went in a horse. And you were just fighting the sedition. That's what you posting about. And now I was posting there. Somebody we know ABC went there and say they get master. And they confirm her. So that your woman voice you get. You know, you wearing lapper. and you lie to us. You say you are going to pay money. Thank God. We know you, but the sedition are in the horse. Send the affair on you. They're so inferior that they ain't able to plead their own law. So we tell them, thank you, yeah. We know we mark all of them. Thank you.
Okay. I did extremely well. Let's read some of the comments. Few can read all because of time. Benson Devio Victor said, I don't know what CDC lawmakers in the Senate are afraid or they are there to sit down in people's houses for which they are talking. You want to say they are talking or not talking? Emmanuel Bro, Iman Ibrahim Darius Dillon voice, the present batch of CDC senators are truly exhibiting spinelessness by being virtually speechless and compromising with nominees from the ruling party. Sad. Emilia Dillon, your crowd just starting. You get 4 more years to go. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you. Joe Colley, everything is now turning around for the good of George Weah. Matthew Cholople, all those CDC lawmakers and senators are very ungrateful and useless people. Yvonne Davids, this is not CDC, but Dillon is getting it now. What goes around comes around. Frederick Nimlin, if Prince Johnson was alive, Dillon would have mentioned war crimes code 100 times by now. I don't blame him, though it's Nimbayans who went against someone who had their back. Gabriel West, Dillon contributed to Senator Prince Johnson's death. Now he is doing the same with Copper Crow. I am not a supporter of the irresponsible UP government and Boakai, but Dillon is an instigator and someone needs to teach him a lesson. Perry Slobart from the USA, that late Senator Prince Johnson's spirit using him, he would not go free from it. Yeah. That's what the guy, the senator, he feels he knows too much. Dorcas, Billy, but Dillon, you were one of those groups of people behind PUSJ. Just play with us. All right. Ferenc Kukpal said CDC has to organize an aggressive national and international strategic planning committee to counteract any anti-CDC propaganda. Such committee should meet regularly and make reports as necessary. The fight should not be left alone to A.B. Weon and his team on radio. That's good. Zheng Maboro, Dillon, you will not retain your position in 2029. You have been useless to the national development of our country. Comfort Givelot said, Mr. Cooper was working in your government and not too clear. Okay. Yes, I thought on it today, and let me say, when you're writing, radio is simple. We're writing radio short. So when you're writing, you're commenting, let's just be short. 2-3 lines, at most 2 lines. You write long paragraphs, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. We don't have time. No, we in radio, that short thing we can read. That newspaper people can read long. So if you writing newspaper thing, we're not read it. When you see we're jumping over some of the comments, it means too long. So if you write 6 paragraphs, before you finish reading that 6 paragraphs, you know how much time gone? No, so sorry. Yeah, you're just right. Short, 1 line, 2 lines. It can be read with ease. All right. So this is how we go home.
The people's curse and Africa. The problem isn't the leader, it's the people. That's the truth Africa has avoided for too long. We love to shout change every election, yet our hearts remain the same. We expect new results from the same broken mindset. We remove one man and replace him with another molded from the same soil of greed, ignorance, and impatience. The people's curse and Africa. The problem isn't the leader, it's the people. That's the truth Africa has avoided for too long. We love to shout change every election, yet our hearts remain the same. We expect new results from the same broken mindset. We remove one man and replace him with another molded from the same soil of greed, ignorance, and impatience. From Nigeria to Kenya, from Zambia to South Africa, from Ghana to Congo, the story repeats like an old drumbeat that never changes its rhythm. Africa doesn't suffer from a lack of leaders. It suffers from a lack of citizens who think. We treat politics like a football match. We wear party colors like jerseys and scream for our team to win, not for our nation to rise. We celebrate thieves because they come from our tribe. We defend failures because they share our tongue. And when the country falls apart, we act shocked, as if we didn't vote for the very hand that now chokes us. We say we want change, but we want it fast, instant like coffee. We want overnight success without discipline, without sacrifice, without time. But no real change grows overnight. It takes seasons of sweat, pain, and patience. Even the best leader cannot build in a land where citizens destroy faster than they repair. You cannot plant mangoes and expect oranges. And yet, that's the curse of our continent. We build illusions and call them dreams. We fall for promises that sound sweet, ignoring the bitter medicine of truth. Politicians know this. That's why they lie. Lies sell faster than truth because truth demands work. Truth offends the lazy, it exposes the comfortable. Democracy, as we practice it, has become a theater of deception, a system designed to enslave the very minds it promised to free. The ballot has become our new chain. Every few years, we line up to vote, not for vision, but for faces, not for progress, but for revenge. We think replacing a man will replace our condition, but the real prison is not State House. It's the mind of the African voter. Look around. Every African country repeats the same cycle. Corruption, outrage, elections, hope, disappointment, then silence. We blame presidents for potholes, but refuse to pick up trash outside our homes. We curse the government for unemployment, but celebrate shortcuts and fraud. We expect heaven from leaders while living like devils in our own small spaces. And yet the truth remains. No leader can save a people unwilling to save themselves. Real change begins when citizens grow up. When they read, think, question, and work. Not just when they complain. When they build communities before building slogans. When they understand that government is not a savior, but a reflection of the people. Africa doesn't need more elections. It needs continuity, accountability, and citizens who act like owners, not spectators. The greatest revolution is not in the streets, it's in the mind. The day Africans stop waiting for rescue, that will be the day we rise. Until then, we remain trapped, not by bad leaders, but by our own illusions. The enemy is not at the top. The enemy lives within us. And until the African changes his mind, no constitution, no election, no foreign aid will ever set him free.
George Weah, standard bearer, political leader, Congress for Democratic Change, former president, Republic of Liberia, global icon, returns to the presidency 2029. Before we can talk few lines on that possibility, which is a foregone conclusion, a sealed prophecy, irreversible, unrevocable, let's remind you know this, it is your right. It is your right. You heard the Senator Darius DeLong that it was organized. Everything against the Congress for Democratic Change was planned. and they execute it. They are in power now. They think that you should not talk. It is not for you to know. But yesterday, they were exposing everything for the people to know and then vote against CDC, which they did. We, the same way, ought to make you to know. Before going further, keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. I beg you, we want to give you the 4,000. Our partners have asked us to give you the 4,000. That 4,000 gives you extra 4,000. That's 8,000. Not only that, but you have bag of rice, oil, and cell phones. So much for you to take by playing the King's Catch giveaway. Dial star 79 and star 24 hash. Play with 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. Play as many times as you can. Don't doubt it. We are in the season already. 4,000 gives you 8,000 bag of rice or cell phone. We are bereaved. Our condolences to the family of our technical man, Richardson. He lost his brother wife in childbirth. She went to give birth and she didn't make it. Terrible. This morning he was called, and then the news was given him. Our condolences to the family and his brother, and as well as himself, Richardson. We are with you. Kings FM is bereaved. It's not easy. I know what it means, what you're going through right now. But we are with you. We are standing with you. Our prayers goes out to you. And God is with us. The Bible said, comfort one another. Yes, I know what you're going through. It's not easy. Yeah. Our condolences again. Richardson, our technical man. Terrible. So know this. It is for you to know. It is public information and you have the right to demand. Unity Party need not wait. They must tell the country. And you must ask that question because it is unto you as citizens. We are saying it again. They will think that we are not telling the truth. But that is it. Now we must know where Unity Party getting the money from to build their headquarters. You can source funding, it will be made public. When you're using government money, the country must know where the money coming from. Don't sit there and just see it as political thing. They do not want you to ask the hard questions because they know they are already in the wrong. In just under 2 years, they have taken millions to build a party headquarters. They are telling you you own half lot of land while they in heaven. They own heaven's land. But they cannot tell you where they get the money from or where they're getting the money from to do all that they are doing. We need not wait when they are out of power before we ask the question. They were asking the hard questions when George Weah and CDC were in power. They were questioning why this, where this coming from. You have the right to ask as citizens to know where Unity Party has taken the money from to build. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was in this country as president, and Joseph Yeman Boakai, now president, vice president then, knew it very well. Ellen had people that she could source money from. One of them was Osiwa. Osiwa, that's the short form. I can't get the whole name, but I think the old staff for Open Society for something. Yeah, I can't get it readily. But the O was Open, and then the SOC, the S for Society. Ellen will speak to partners around, and she will make it clear. So the media knew where the money would come from. When PUL was struggling, did not have money to build its own headquarters, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said that she was going to speak to her friends and they would help her. And she spoke with Osiwa and they gave 300,000, 300,000, yes, 100,000, but they gave money. I may not be exact with the figure, but they gave money. It came from Osiwa. Joseph Yeman Boakai know that. Why did Ellen do that? Because she knew it would have been wrong to take money from in the country's coffer when the media was not in there. Joseph Yeman Boakai claimed no business as usual, but this is stealing as usual. This is stealing. Until now, they cannot tell. They cannot say. The committee should be. They are portraying it like the people are raising funds in various counties. That is not true. That is not true. The people are not raising funds. The people know exactly everything is in place. If, for discussion's sake, they are raising funds, county are raising funds, did Maserado County, did they do any central head office fundraising to already buy that place? And that place is not in thousands. That place should be in millions. Either 1 million or 1.5 million or 2 million. Where did Joseph Yeman Boakai get the money from? Unity Party will have to tell us. If they cannot say, then it's clear that they stole the money. It's stealing money. They're stealing, they're bleeding the coffers of the country. The people who came and said that there will be transparency, accountability. The president said there will be no business as usual. Here is the president, his people. He has approved the purchasing of a place that they flushed them out from. Where did the money come from? Is the president telling us that Unity Party was factored in the 2025 budget and Unity Party is factored in the 2026 1.2 billion budget? Is that what President Joseph Boakai is telling us? Where did the money come from? My people, you raise the question. You have to know it is your country money. It is your government. Where the money coming from? In just under 2 years, they have decided to build a headquarters. They have already purchased or bought the building. And now they're about to use more than 2-3 million United States dollars to build. Where the money coming from? The General Auditing Commission, AREP, Asset Retrieval, Property Retrieval Task Force, Central, Center for Transparency and Accountability, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. You people have to be on the alert. And I guess you people are asking yourselves these questions I am asking. You people have to be on the alert. General Auditing Commission, AREPT, and Clamantin, Central, LACC. You don't have to wait until Unity Party is out of power before GAC you will do an audit. LACC, Central, AREPT, Edwin Clamantin, Councillor Edwin Clamantin. Are you thinking about this? Are you asking yourself? You are eager, you are energetic, you are being used to go after former government officials. You said they took money that they cannot account for, they are state money. Joseph Yeman Boakai is building his party headquarters. You want to ask yourself where the money is coming from. LACC, P. Gaswa Jackson, head of the General Auditing Commission. Are you guys asking yourselves these questions? At this point, in just under 2 years, Unity Party has secured. You want to ask where the source of the money, where it's coming from? Doesn't it concern you people? Oh, I guess you guys are concerned. And I showed over the days and weeks we get to know. The party, Senator Vapala, who is the head, she has not said anything where the money is coming from or where the money has come from. They are only coming out with this political shenanigan of publicity stunt. Yeah, half headquarter, half lot. We going back home to a whole, all kinds of things. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Try to get you not to think and ask the hard questions. Where the money coming from? We have to know. We keep asking this question until you people can tell us. If it was we are yesterday, you people will be all on Facebook. Why your so-called educated people, people of good governance, transparency, why they're not asking the legislature, Senator Corner and the rest of the people, Unity Party people, why you're not telling where the money coming from? Unity Party going to spend more than 2 to 3 million United States dollars over there. Where the money coming from? We don't have problem with you building the headquarters, but we just want to know, as part of transparency, good governance, where the money is coming from. If Joseph Imamboga source funding from outside, let it be known, and then we'll respect Unity Party. If the money is coming from within, then we want to know from where. Did the money come from Freeport? Did it come from RIA? Did it come from Maritime? These are lucrative institutions. Yesterday, you people said, oh, we just call Freeport and call for 30,000. Call this place, call for 40,000. That's how you people were portraying it, as if it works that way. So since you people made us to know, we are saying it now, you tell us. Because in no time, you say you've bought your headquarters, you're going to build. You cannot say where the money coming from. Who gave you what money? Where you source the money from? Then we can conclude, we can infer that you requested bits and pieces. Freeport chip in, LPRC chip in, Maritime chip in, RIA chip in. So we can infer that way. But you people will have to tell us. It will not go down the drain. You'll embarrass yourselves by just starting too early, too soon. All because George Weah is so extra, so exquisite, so unique. You cannot prove a point to George Weah. No. So you people have embarrassed yourselves. At least George Weah parent you. George Weah is leading you. George Weah gave your sense of understanding, sense of somebodyness. We returns to the presidency 2029. You don't worry, it's possible. Preparations are ongoing in and out of Liberia. Preparations are ongoing in Liberia and out of Liberia. Meetings are taking place. The outcome of those meetings are fruitful. We are Unity Party insiders are doing very well. We are Unity Party insiders are doing very well for him, for the party. We appreciate that. If you don't know, let me explain it this way. There are people within Unity Party who are helping with bits and pieces of information. This is no secret. Information comes out from anywhere. Unity Party people having meeting about the party headquarters, and Joseph Yemabaga makes a telephone call there. It's outside. There is nothing, no meeting Unity Party can have that the information won't get out. So they are working. All of these helping Wians return. Yeah. The plan to bring corruption charges against CDC officials it will just be a farce. They want to do it 2026. It will not cover up anything. They want to use that as a cover up. They mess up. Things not working. The people going against them. Time is against them. They can't prove anything extra. No. And everything is just working for Weir's good. If anybody would think that Weir would not come back to power, cannot come back, you must be living in utopia. You must be brain dead to say that. Unity Party is afraid. There is every possibility of Weir's coming back. God showed signs. God showed signs, several African countries, including the great America, that these things, this saying was said that Trump wasn't coming back. Peter Mutharika wasn't coming back, and on and on. We see all those African countries, they serve, they gone back. Donald Trump went back. Liberia is not exempt. George Weah will return. You go up, you come down. You can do anything you want to do. You can do nothing to create any hostile environment here. You, as a ruling party, you cannot intimidate any opposition person. There is nothing absolutely you can do to take or to hijack the election in your favor. The election will be free, fair, democratic, uncoerced, unintimidated, and we will win by gulf margin. So whatever you people think, whichever way you fanatics or fans and supporters of Unity Party, as you hear your people say that will not come back, don't ever believe it. Don't ever believe that. When they tell you isn't coming back, they try to play on you to think that it is not possible. It is possible. If elections were held today, George Weah will win Unity Party hands down. If election is held at 7 p.m. Liberian time and the count is at 7:30, George Weah will win them, beat them hands down. They can say it is a cliche now in our society. We tire hearing that. It doesn't have substance. Even their own people, they tire saying that now. They can't see anything different from their own camp. They tire with, we are not coming back. We are not coming back. We are not, they've been on, we are not coming back for 1 year, 10 months. Bwaka has nothing to show. Look at what Central said today or yesterday in its report. Central Cell said that Joseph Yman Bwaka should stop symbolic celebration, meaning he's not doing anything. When other people finish designing, he takes the plan and then goes to break ground, to do it. That's why they call symbolic. Central Executive Director Anasi Miame, he said Bouaka has done nothing yet. Bouaka has shown nothing of his own. And time is going. We wish that it can be this way. Into 2029, it will be this way. Not much they're going to do. No, if you know how the international community works, you will hear about the millions, the billions. But it doesn't just drop from the sky because they say, oh, they're going to turn across into 4 lane and then the money just drop. No, they source funding. Sometimes the international community or the country that you're sourcing that funding from, they say, oh, yes, that's true. We'll give you 5 million for that. And that 5 million could come 2028. It could come 2029. That's how it works. It doesn't just drop as the announcement goes. That's why the government will always pray for a second term, hope for a second term, appeal to you for a second term. And nobody should ever ask you for a second term and you ever do that. Unity Party people should never ask you for a second term and you do that. They are afraid. George Weah will defeat them pens down. You go up, you come down. This is a foregone conclusion, a sealed prophecy. They can never, ever be George Weah. Take it or leave it. Let's put it to test. And that test is coming. We already into 2029. The National Elections Commission start preparation. 2026, 2027, and then there's 2028, the eve of 2029. What Unity Party don't have much time again. They wasted doll of a people, wasted whole 2 years on one man called George Weah. One man. That is a sign to convince you that Weah is coming back. That is a sign to convince you that they are afraid. That is a sign to convince you that he is a weighty character, a force. For 2 years, they use on one man. Joseph Human Bouaka, as the president of this country, can never stand before this country and point to anything practically significant he has done. George Weah, under 2 years, he could point to a number of things, infrastructures over the place going on. And then you say Weah can return. Live with that illusion. I see you. That's all the time we've got. Thank you ever so much. We're back tomorrow, if God permits. 6 o'clock, the news is on. Please join us for that, King's Newsroom. And then at 6:50, Isaka Sharif and Josephine are in with CDC hour. And then the night, you know exactly, I need not introduce the man of the night, the man of the hour, but protocol demands. The only teacher of the land, the only man that Joseph Human Bouaka is afraid of, the only name that Joseph Human Bouaka fumbles over, fear, the teacher of the land, Anthony at law. He'll be will with face the issues. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
Rastafari.